And we get it, right? Drafting phase, ladies and gentlemen, game number 1, presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy A55, A35 5G, RRQ. Go with the Hayabusa band. We saw what the Hayabusa was able to do in the first match that we saw earlier on. It wasn't respected 2 times in a row, and it is still sitting at 100% win rate as of today. So RRQ go ahead out and ban it. They understand the potential that it has in the hands of Annabelle. Alongside with that is the Tigreal ban, as well as Evos going out of their way to eliminate the Edith as well as the Chip.
All right, Edith and the Chip away from RRQ, but for RRQ, banning away the Harriet and the Tigreal, that's interesting. The Hayabusa respect as well. You would think that they would be okay picking it up, but it seems like they want something else, something a bit different. Maybe one of the more mobile assassins. And for Evos, they might be willing to go for an assassin duel here with Annabelle against Sutsujin, with both the Fanny and the Ling still left open.
What I'm wondering is, Nolan technically had a buff, right?
Yeah, it's an adjustment in the weights. Damage-wise, you will be able to hit the fracture a bit better. But when it comes to mobility, you can get punished easier now, with the second skill cooldown being a lot more, I would say, compared to the old one. Even though it's just a 0.5, that 0.5 second delay does get you sometimes.
Okay, maybe that's why we haven't seen Nolan being a first pick hero.
First pick, I would say we haven't, so it might be a buff as well because it's not as contested any longer. But with the Mathilda first pick for RRQ, that's a bold statement. No real flex play coming in from Coach Keskut here. Evos against a prospect of agile, mobile players of RRQ, augmented by the Guiding Wind. What is their solution here? Crowd control must be in the picture somehow.
Your team is
And it goes in the form of the Arlet. Right, the Arlet gets picked up here for the White Tigers alongside with the Ling for Annabelle. What do RRQ want to do with this information?
They could go Alpha in the jungle. That would be great with the Mathilda as well.
The game
offers a whole lot of team fighting. Whoa, they go Roger. Not too sure where this is going. Me and Rashi share the same opinion here. When the Roger changes, it's very hard to pull him off in the gold lane. So I presume it's a jungle Roger, and it's a Yi pickup for Rins.
Interesting. Usually we see Coach Keskut be one of the most elusive drafters, and now everything is on the table, save for the Roger. But in theory, this is a jungle Roger for Sutsujin to try and match that Ling in the clear speed, in the early game aggression to probably take over the game. With the Yi picked as well, in theory it's a counter to the Tsushin if Evos want to go for it. But I gotta say, playing in that matchup myself, the Tsushin in the lane is just so peskily annoying. The fact that you don't use any mana using the Lantern Flare now unless you hit a hero means you can just leave it out there. So the laning becomes a bit of a problem, but with team coordination, this should be fine. And even in the team fights, the Tsushin might be weaker than ever actually.
And technically RRQ, if anything, if they have anything, it's team coordination, right? Valentina now picked up for Evos to close out this first phase, so it does even the playing field just a little bit with the Valentina being able to utilize her IMU for the real world manipulation.
Potential for both teams to just hit back with the big chunk of magic damage, but now range-wise, right? Having the Roger potentially in the jungle, the Mathilda and the Yve, we saw a similar pattern coming straight out of Dewa United just earlier today. They're going to be able to actually win in the poke battle, in the setup battle, unless, of course, this Arlet can find ways to engage reliably and unexpectedly against RRQ. So with that in mind, I feel like Evos will be trying to mitigate some of the bush opening type of heroes. The tanky heroes that can't be banned out, they can't be really bursted down. And for RRQ, I think they're going to try and maybe get away, deny some of the stronger laners, because that is something that Evos usually like using. But no, it's a Minotaur.
Pretty solid ban, the Minotaur. I think this is just pure respect towards Dreams. We know how good Dreams can be when he gets his heroes. The Minotaur and the Tigreal both banned away, and the Valentina pickup definitely does seem like they want to set up for Dreams with those kind of initiators. If it's not the Tigreal Minotaur, usually we see Edith for Dreams. That has been taken away by Evos. Do they want to go? That's tough though. I'm thinking, again, if we're thinking Dreams, the only thing left in the book is Franco Kaja. You really want to go Franco or Kaja. Kaja makes more sense against the Eve, right? The Franco, though, with the Mathilda there, with so many ways to cancel, I'm not too sure.
I mean, there are other options. He's used the Jawhead before. Lolita, Kufra,
Not
Akai.
the best of his abilities, unfortunately.
True.
You know, right now the Ruby is still available as well
Yes.
for both these teams. And with Assassins in the picture, or semi-dive heroes like the Roger in the picture, the Ruby generally becomes such a prio pick for RRQ. They want to limit the defensive maneuvers of Evos a bit more to allow their players to just dive in the backline.
So let's see the pick here. The ban, rather, the Kaja. They're full.
Coach Kez, man.
They are shutting
This guy.
down Dreams in full.
This
Minotaur
guy.
Kaja as well as the Tigreal. What will Dreams pick up at this point?
If he goes for the Franco, there's still options for RRQ to just go straight for something like a Grok maybe, and just nullify all of the threat potential technically. Man, if you're in Evos' shoes, it's so difficult to really find something that kind of fits all the fits into this crazy puzzle. But it's gonna be the Claude. We've seen it do well just earlier, Mirko, but I think you still stay unconvinced.
No, not convinced at all. I think the Claude wins have come through very low games, and I think RRQ will prove that this Claude isn't really that big of a threat here in this meta. But what is going to go gold lane is my question here. I think the Ruby would be a pretty good choice. They can give Ruby over to Skylar perhaps if they want to. If the Roger does go jungle. I think again the Roger should be going jungle, but to go back to the Alter Ego Dewa match, I think the Roger can still win against the Claude. It's just a matter of execution in that lane. And we get to see it in the jungle or gold. It is.
What? Huh?
Coach Kez, what are you cooking?
Oh man, just yesterday I think I was asking you about the Sicilian, Mirko. How with some of the buffs with
the
the
same mid.
mana stacking addition, right?
It's gold. Gold Sicilian.
Oh my. Oh wow.
But there's
Along-
so much dive from Evos. Right?
thing
You have
about
the
Sicilian-
Ling, you have Claude, and
Yeah, a lot
then
of
you have the
sustain.
Arlet.
You have a lot of sustain on the Sicilian. Something that's very underrated about this pick is the Bat Beast. When you use the ultimate, you do actually have quite a bit to play with. And look at this comp. They have so much peel. With the Khalid too.
Even with the Khalid and even the Guiding Wind, there's so many ways to kind of dash out. And Evos, they settle back for the Ling-Angela combo. But Cascute, what did you just cook up? The Khalid finally back after a long period of time. Dyron, this is a hero that really suits his playstyle, man. He likes these dive-in aggressive heroes.
It's a very aggressive comp from RRQ. Sicilian versus the Claude in the gold lane, though. What is that matchup going to look like?
That's a win for Sicilian. All Sicilian needs to do is just farm up and pull. By the way, shoutouts to Mr. Kaon in the building, RQ's team owner.
Wow. He actually came through, wanting to support his team here in the Chaos Derby, in the Classical Derby, but it is full of chaos, though.
Yeah, the chaotic classical derby right here. Evos and RRQ. Counter index and lineup rating favors Evos, but when Cascute is in the picture, the trickster Cascute might just skew those odds in weird ways.
Heaven and Earth, the battle in the Classical Derby. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to game number 1 between Evos Glory and 1&2 Mpl Kaon. Can Evos continue their survival and keep their playoffs hope alive?
Oh, early on. Very, very aggressive rotation into the mid lane to try to punish Dreams, but also Angela Rome. I'm not a big fan of the Angela Rome in this meta.
Especially later on against a team like RRQ. It's gonna be so dangerous. But look at that. Dyron with a concussive blast, actually, winning out in the trades. And I believe Edok went for the Guiding Wind. It was a cheese play by RRQ to send in the Khalid, get in all the damage, and get him out with the Guiding Wind. Emblems here by IndieHome indicate the willingness for Evos to really go for the brawl. And the fact that Natko is running with the tenacity means that he feels there's going to be threats coming his way. Whereas for RRQ, with all the peel and sustain, Bargain Hunter with the Rupture. This is a farm lane for the Skylar on the Sicilian. And later on, with the Mathilda, it's going to be so difficult for them to kind of power through the slows from the Eve, right? To try and chase through the Guiding Wind and still get to that Sicilian that still has the increased movement speed. And of course, the Sanguine Claws. So many ways for RRQ to play the kiting poking game.
Oh, that was nearly a forced recall onto Natco, by the way. The damage from the bad impact from Skylar has actually optimally bursted Claude down in that gold lane. It's going to be very interesting to see how this pans out after level 4.
I want to say something too. I don't know if you guys remember, but I can't believe I forgot this in the draft. Khalid, Dyron. He's the best Khalid in Indonesia, man. Remember his days in Rebellion when he used to spam this pick. And then after that, he kind of left, was in limbo. We didn't see him in MPL, and Luke took that mantle, best Khalid. But we were also saying in the back rooms that, nah, Dyron's got it, bro.
Wow, what season was that?
10.
Season 10, 4 seasons ago. Wait a second.
Annabelle trying to go for the steal. Does it? Well played, Annabelle. So showing that he's got the skills to pay the bills on this link.
Aggressive moves coming from Evos with more burst damage potential with the Angela to secure the mind of Annabelle. They can go for that steal, go for the neutral objective right there. But as the game progresses, right, as a Sicilian gets stacks, as there are more poke options, oh, Clockun
Gonna be caught in the Raging Sandstorm, and even the real world ablation earlier. Clockun though popped it in. Now Dyron might be compromised, but he is still able to escape. The flicker baited out of Clockun.
All right, and back to that gold lane, right? It looks like Skylar actually is forced on the recall by Natco. And that's why I was curious about the level 4, right? Sure, Skylar's able to pick up the Bat Feast, but Natco gets a Blazing Duet.
Wow.
Is this a unanimous vote?
Yeah, this is a unanimous vote. For
That's rare.
We haven't seen this in so long. We're friends now. We're friends now, yes. We're friends now.
Finally.
After being rivals in the... What match was that?
BTR Rrq?
Ah, yes. BTR versus Rrq, which we lost, by the way. We now have a unanimous vote on the Indo as well as on the English desk. But, you know, it's always possible for the White Tigers to prove us wrong. It looks like they are holding on to a little bit of a lead.
Oh, Raging Sandstorm coming down, connecting on a 2. That's the final slash to get him out of the Tempest Blaze. Now Dyron able to actually go and heal back up. Sutsujin still on Psychos. RWM, wrong angle. Sutsujin's going to be punished down. Annabelle surviving Clockun with first blood. Evos strike first.
This is a good start for Evos.
They're using the sustain from the Angela really, really well right here. Kind of dictating the tempo, but look at this.
Clockun opening up the bush, but will get chunked. Skylar, Sanguine Claws, bad impact, one last shot! No flicker, Skylar on the Sicilian! A rotation from gold lane.
This is where Evos needs to be careful, man. They do have the advantage early game with that Angela playmaking with the hard guard. But you have to remember, once those resources are down, they don't really win out in the back and forth, you know, the disengage and re-engage style. That's all Rrq. Now, waiting for the setups. Look at Rin's just zoning as Dyron still stays in the front and tries to take away the attention.
Annabelle with a retreat battle against Sutsujin. This time, it's Annabelle again! Picks up all the blades and escapes.
Wow. 2 times in a row, he's been able to win out the Retribution against Sutsujin. Annabelle really keeping Evos in this game as well. And despite the advantage that they've had, it looks like Rrq have actually augmented themselves their own gold lead. How?
Just by farming. So far, Rrq, again, with the movements around the map, with the sum of the kills and the quick farming that the rest of the players are all doing here, you're seeing that even with 2 turtles, Evos are actually still at a gold deficit. So this is great news for Evos. They're keeping the game competitive, but they have to remember that late game Sicilian. Most people don't remember it any longer, but back when it was meta, it was an absolute menace, man. 2 bad impacts and you're done. That's the amount of burst that is possible from the Sicilian.
And that's why being placed into the gold lane, how fast can you get those stacks and how fast can you get those items, right? Because that's going to be a monster. Let's see if Evos can actually punish Skylar to prevent that from happening, because so far, Skylar's still sitting at a 1-0-0.
And he actually has a Clock of Destiny already completed. For the most part, as long as there's backup available from his team, they're seeing that he's playing it very clearly, very passively, right? Clear the waves, move backwards, and if there's a Blazing Impact, a Blazing Duet play from Natco there, he can just match it with the Bat Feast. But as mentioned by Mirko earlier, someone's in the building.
Someone's in the building. Shout out to Mr. Kaon here, supporting his own team. That's the Kaon and Rex Regum Kaon, if you guys don't know. Skylar, what is that damage with Edok together? Now Rins with a pinch maneuver. Natco zone completely away from this tier 1, and that sets up perfectly for the turtle. Raging Sandstorm by Dyron to escape. healing back up.
Annabelle is a level ahead, by the way. Psychots.
Oy. Oh, one more bad impact coming down. Psychots very low. The poke is ridiculous.
You're seeing a bit of a... Oh, hang on a minute. Dreams.
Oh, opening up that side of the bush now. Gets demobilized down. Annabelle will be zoned away by the circling eagle, but still has the hard guard coming down. A level ahead this time against Sutsujin. That's a red tree this time. Sutsujin wins it out. Annabelle might be caught. Has the pinch poised to escape, but Rrq Hoshi, they were already in the lead with 2 turtles down. Now they get their own turtle. Natko, good trade down below.
Wait, was Sutsujin and Annabelle at the same level earlier on, or was Annabelle at the level lead?
Annabelle level lead.
Wow,
Okay.
Annabelle level lead, and still, with all the pressure that you can see coming from Rrq, you're seeing that the fights, ever so slightly, momentum-wise, is shifting towards Rrq. With the turret taken on the bottom side, though, you're seeing Evos kind of corral around to try and find something. But looking at the items here, glowing wand for both mid laners, with the warrior boots, 4 wins. But look at Tyrant.
That impacted half with the Sanguine Claws, and now Dreams might be next. Another, the Flask of the Oasis. Dreams almost just got poked to death. Annabelle with a jump over the Rinse, now with the Tempest Blaze as well. Psychots with the Vengeance, but the real word of inflation catches Annabelle. Immobilized now, glowing wand. Tyrant gets the kill in the back as Sutsujin deals with Natko.
Executor Dyron on his signature hero, Khalid.
Oh!
And look at that damage again on Clockman. Is Dyron gonna go in for the kill again?
It's a bit too greedy, I don't think so, but he's just going to spam the Inibanchana emote. You guys can get that, by the way, a really cool emote.
And just like that, Evos, without any tools available, now you're seeing the holes here exploited by Rrq. At any moment, they can start up an engage with the Sanguine Claws, with the Void Crystals, and just get a healthy amount of damage on any kind of squishy member in the front line. The fact that there is no big tanky member for Evos means that no one is safe at this point. Even Psychon isn't tanky enough. As we take a look at Evos Yuppie from the MPLIDX streamer program here.
Yeah, she's not having it.
He looks super concerned, man.
She's not having it. Okay, she notices. Hi, Yuppie!
She
Yeah.
still looks... Yeah, the eyes don't lie, my friend. The eyes don't lie.
You can see the look of concern right there. And who can blame her? It's not looking the best. 3k Goldie for Rrq, and they have all the late game options and a good mix of frontline, of tankiness, of damage as well. Look at Psychots trying to open up the map, but even when he does, Clocken is slowly but surely getting bursted down. Without the Angela around to really give some more regeneration, Dyron.
Ooh. By the way, this is a full tank Khalid. Thunderbelt Rush, and now building towards the Dominance Ice. There is no damage in his build.
At this point, he needs to serve as one of the main frontliners because the Mathilda certainly cannot. Look at Edok taking a bit of damage. Immediately traded though, when it comes to the wave clear, when people are moving around, clearing to try and go for a fight, Rrq with 2 mages can definitely do better. Wow, and look at that. At any moment, you do see though, right, that Skylar, despite the great bad piece,
Sutsujin.
bad impacts and Sanguine Claws, some of these spells are missing. You can tell that he isn't really comfortable on his position, but Annabelle, no purple buff for what is potentially the next Lord setup.
Yeah, that'll do it right there. They're already 3,000 gold ahead, and there's Holy Crystal,
no.
10 minutes for Skylar. That is his 3rd item, and you can see that damage piling onto Psychots, who can't take it. Forced to flicker out early. Skylar is also stacking, by the way. So, with Holy Crystal 10 minutes, oh man.
I don't know. I guess Evos, they need to work with angles at this point, right? They can't go in for a full engage front to back because of Skylar, right? Even before Evos start to go for their setup, they're already bursted down. The kiting is insane by Skylar. I know it's difficult, right? Because even if they look for an angle onto Skylar, you know Edok is somewhere in the vicinity to back Skylar up, but it's gotta be angles at this point. They're playing with angles.
And even if they deal with Skylar, there's going to be a lot of damage down from Rrq, but it doesn't mean that there's no mage. But oh, Diamond!
There, the catch down, but there's no follow-up. Natko still has a Purify. Clockhood taking a half HP. Natko not going to be ganked by Tyrant. Real Word of Inflation as well. He got to Purify. Gets a play on the Tyrant as the Temple of the Blades will be used up by Annabelle, who tries to pick up all the blades, but without the purple. But what can you do? Skylar gets a bad impact straight into the face of Annabelle. And they know where Natko is. In the bush. The bad impact not connecting. One last shot should do it. Now Sutsujin walks over, but Skylar picks up the killing spree. Dreams all alone. The little girl taken out by Edok on the Mathilda.
You don't run away from Sicilian, and you don't run away from Skylar's Sicilian. The king himself, he proves that he can utilize even mages in the gold lane and find this much success. And that's going to be a free lord over to Rrq.
That was a crazy fight by Rrq, man. It almost went ideally for Evos. They're able to dive onto the backline. Annabelle was using the Tempest of Blades to try and take out Skylar in close proximity in order to prevent the damage coming in from the bad impacts. That's a Divine Glaive already
Yikes.
on top of the Holy Crystal. An insane amount of damage. We saw that Skylar wasn't able to land bad impacts, but the damage was enough, and the Flicker out of danger.
Oh.
Look at that. Whoa!
The bad impact, the low claw, goodness burning down with the glowing rod. Sutsujin pulled back, but the guiding wind's right there. Again, now into the back, Annabelle trying to save the game. Gets some damage, gets Edok, but he has to pay with it, with his life. Now it's Tyrant, zoning them in the back. Again, Skylar is free to just shoot them down. That's half of Psychos' HP, that's half of Clarkun's. Skylar with the claws, Skylar with a bad impact, Psychos low, Skylar wants to go for the kills. Psychos jumps in with a vengeance, now the Sanguine Claw's not connecting. Rrq can go for the base with another mini wave in the bottom lane. Natko cannot walk forward, now one last shot from Sutsujin. But the Tigers, wounded, limping, are still able to survive.
Yeah, Rrq, they're too low at this point, right? Oh no!
Blazing new wet from Natko! Getting the shutdown now on the Tyrant, who is still able to sustain back up. It is only a 3-kill bounty that Natko picked up, but finally, he gets a kill on Skylar.
Rrq stayed a little too long there, Arashi.
They were just feeling comfortable, man, just standing there taking pot shots with 2 high ground mages at Evos. Who would have thought? Would you believe if we told you a couple of seasons ago that Evos on an assassin will be having trouble against 2 backline high ground mages that in theory should not be able to deal with the close range proximity?
Speaking of that, game fact by GoPay, Khalid is one of Dairon's power heroes since his debut in Rebellion with 8 picks and a 75% win rate. Something that Mirko mentioned earlier on with the Dairon pick. I wonder if that 75% win rate can actually increase. It's looking good for Rrq.
It's looking great so far. Speaking of Dairon himself, he goes for the Thunderbelt, the Dominance Ice to just lower the healing, lower the shred from Natko, but also with the Oracle to ensure that when he goes and heals, he's going to get a lot more value and buy a lot more time. Now Skylar with the Winter Crown, there's a chance that in one of these fights, if he gets jumped on, he goes for the Winter Crown while popping the Bad Feast, and he's still going to be outputting all that damage. And if you look at Edok, he's actually going for more magic power, actually. Not going for any tanky options to really help with the frontline defense. It's actually just going straight for it. And even for Sutsujin, we talked about this, Mirko. The fact that the Thunderbolt now only adds damage from your extra magical defense and physical defense. In theory, it shouldn't really work that well for heroes like the Roger. But Sutsujin is still going for that build. And look at this setup right here, man. Look at the control.
They're just playing around the stack. Oh, final slash, not connecting. Tyron now. Annabelle gets caught in the middle of the wall. Tyron, finding 3! Zoning everyone from Evos. There's no follow-up there, but Tyron was able to bait out so much. Even the hard gun from Natko as he goes into the blazing weapon. Win a crown from Rins, gets him to safety. Natko. BMI backwards again. Sutsujin controlling the Lord. Psychots low. Flickering out, but now the chase comes in. 3-man final slash into the sun. Edok going to be taken now, and that is 1-for-1 Lord for Edok.
This is dangerous, man. Rrq, they got the Lord. They're still playing confident, but you are seeing some of these movements from this at Rrq, and you know it's not necessary. They're just doing a lot of aggressive moves to send the message, and they lost one so far, but it's still a 5v5 with the Lord pushing into the base of Evos.
Let's see if they can defend. Natko getting hit by the bat impact earlier. Now to dive from Annabelle onto Rins, who he knows doesn't have the winner crown. Rins should be down. That is Annabelle getting the kill. Now onto Tyron he goes. Won't be able to survive though from the bat impact that is constantly gunning them down to win a crown. As Sutsujin takes Natko down. That is the bat impact. Walker with a flicker. But Tyron with the execution. Rrq Hoshi strike first. Evos Glory falling down in the first game, 1-0.
That's a wiped out. That's the body of 5 dead Tigers on the floor as Rrq claim their first success in this classical derby.
It is hunting season for the Kings, man. Evos with the signature picks, with the Ling, The Ling Angela combo in the assassin meta, powerless, shut down by the unorthodox, the confusing, the tricky picks.
Into the drafting phase, ladies and gentlemen. Game number 2, presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy A55, A35 5G. Evos, is that a Yeet ban in the first phase?
Sure is. What season is it where we see the Yi ban away so early on? With the chip ban away by KSQ, let's see what else is gonna come up right here. I don't think the Sicilian warrants a ban, but hey, speaking of weird mages, weird magical damage in the gold lane, the Alice still was banned out. I wonder if
What's your
there
command?
could be a situation here where it gets left open and one of these teams can pick it up.
I'm not sure. When it comes to Evos, or RRQ rather, what are they going to ban out? Phobias, alright. So they're actually planning to leave the Edith open this time around. In game number 1, they were the ones to ban out the Hayabusa, Tigreal, and Harith. So maybe this game, they might be looking to pick up the Hayabusa for Sutsujin. That is a pick that hasn't really done too well in the hands of Sutsujin. So I guess we'll see what the plan is here.
It hasn't done so well for Tsujin, but that's before the changes, I believe. So by all means, that could be a bit of a factor. This is why the matches immediately after a big patch, after big changes and adjustments to heroes, get very exciting in the drafting phase. Hayabusa will be respected by Evos. I believe that's quite the wise choice. But now for RRQ, what's the idea here? Earlier, they banned away the
Always
Edith
on the way.
along with that, but it's the Mathilda. They are not willing to concede it to Evos.
Nope, no chance. And this means that the Edith is open, the Harith is open as well. What do they want to go for?
I think Edith is a safe choice to go for, but because if they go Harith,
I am the priestess
yeah,
of
there you
primal
go.
lightning.
They go Edith here,
the hunter of all
RRQ with a
the evil
response this
gods.
time around. What are they going to go for? They can go Ling for Sutsujin, knowing that the Ling is up for grabs, but they decide to go for the Arlet first. Good flex pick. With the change of the mana now, it's a lot stronger than it was before.
Yeah, the manaless hero, Arlet, in the EXP lane potentially, but maybe Edo can make good use of it as well. Along with that, what's it gonna be? Usually it's a mid lane. For the longest time, it was always the Aurora. But hey, Nolan making an appearance. Sutsujin was doing great on the Nolan, but we have to remember the slipperiness of this Nolan has been lowered, but Sutsujin is one of those assassins, one of those players who hasn't really been playing too risky when it comes to that Nolan gameplay.
I was wondering when the Nolan would show up, right? I was curious to see the effect that the patch had on the Nolan, and we finally get to see it in play now. Evos, however, do they want to secure the Valentina still for Kolokun, or do they have a different option in mind?
They gotta somehow prepare for the Harith, because the Harith is coming. If they don't get a counter here, Harith gets picked up and all the counters get banned away in the second phase.
So Valen Lunox?
I don't know if you want to go Lunox here though. Yeah, okay. This is a Harith pick, I think, for RRQ.
Wow, okay, man. The link with the Faramis, though, seems like the sustainability is something that they really want. But now they got a bit of a good balance. Man, I kind of called it. But wow, Alice in the first phase.
Oh, man.
They've secured a physical damage source in the jungle as well. So this is a well-balanced pick. And they ban away the Lunox.
What do you think about this Alice going into a lineup that has the Faramis, though?
It's good.
I guess in a way it's good, right? Because everyone's forced to clump up anyways.
Yeah.
So if you're the Alice, you're outputting the damage, you're healing more anyways.
It's better than the Harith against the Faramis.
And technically, again, the combination Mirko, we talked about this yesterday, I believe.
No.
The fact that they put the Alice with an assassin means everyone is kind of worried about kind of spreading apart alone from each other. And that can lead to that corralling effect. And with the final slash, there's so many ways that RRQ can combo this. But for Evos, if they can secure enough playmaking tools, maybe they can stop it in its tracks.
Oh man, Coach Kez! Remember when he was in Bigatron Alpha, he picked this Alice for the jungle for Super Ken, and then he ended the draft with an Angela. With the Valentina and Yi banned out, with the Eve also banned out. Honestly, I don't see why not. Why not go for the Angela? Give the Alice even more power. Play around Skylar. By the way,
you can combo with the Nolan as well.
yeah, that's true. By the way, Season 7, Skylar, when he made his debut, he was hated the most when he played Alice because he kept losing lane.
Yikes. Well, how the turntables. Now the Alice is actually back, quote-unquote, in the meta. We'll have to wait and see how it develops after this week. First pick for Rrq, though. Like you mentioned, Mirko, so many options. They can get a strong pick for the lane. They can go and get more utility. With 6 seconds to go, the answer is going to be the Aurora. Late into the drafting phase. Technically, it can still be flexed.
Yeah.
Into the roam
Yep.
for Edok.
The Edok technology.
The
Man.
Aurora Roam technology.
This is disgusting to draft against, honestly.
The trickster.
Okay, let's see the idea. Okay, we have a Kaja Beatrix combination as the final 2 picks for Evos. And now for RQ. Pick your poison.
Let's go Minotaur at this point, right?
Or Ruby, maybe?
Ruby, Minotaur.
The signature Ruby can stop the Kaja. You know, we've seen it happen. A Kaja flicker Divine Judgments.
Yeah.
As he arrives, gets stuck on the Don Juan Wolf King. It's a signature pick for Edok as well.
Or just go Franco.
Or just go Franco.
I don't know. There's no real
Signature pick
burst.
as well.
There's no follow-up burst, right? I mean, Aurora.
Aurora, bro. Nolan,
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
But it's not instant.
True. Hang on a minute.
It's not like a carry or a Beatrix. They go for. Good, they got the Kacha. That-
Kacha.
Not expected got that Kacha.
Exactly. You have to expect the unexpected when Coach Kaz is in the building.
I don't know, what is a Gatot for?
To actually
Beatrix?
drop on top of the Nether Realm?
Yeah.
Maybe.
The taunt also stops the Kaja. If you go Divine Judgment, you get taunted, you can't move.
Oh, you're right. And in the early game, maybe they were concerned about not matching the aggression coming in from the Ling, from the Faramis, you know, in the mid lane. The Gatot almost guarantees that in that roam 1v1, you have a bit more to say about how things go. Because again, the passive, right? It gives you damage, reduction, and also sustain.
I love it.
Once
I love
again,
it.
Look, the lineup rating favors Evos, but
Both games,
we
we
all
know.
know that is not how, you know, it's not on paper, right? The games are played in the Land of Dawn.
My people would say that's cap.
It's cap. Omawa has learned that slang from us as well.
The
He
final
understands.
life, the final possibility, the final chance for the White Tigers to look for that possibility into the playoffs.
Smash them.
And here it is, another battle between heaven and earth. Can Evos survive and withstand the pressure of the kingdom to force this to a game number 3?
Oh, look at that early pressure from Edok and Renz.
Yikes, man. The fact that there's another additional crowd control tool for the side of RRQ, especially in that combo, right? The twin pillars, Rins and Edok. You get taunted, you get hit with the hailstorm. It's a lot of damage that you have to sustain through. Right. Look at this movement, though, from the side of Evos. They want to contest early on.
I just want to throw out a fun fact, but this is the worst Ling skin to use in a game because it's very hard to see the visualization of where the blades are going to drop. You'll see it later when he ults, but he's using a special Ling skin.
Interesting. Wow. All right. Let's take a look at the emblems by IndyHome, though, while we do have the chance, because this seems like a high-paced, high-octane game. Agilities for the Faramis and the Kaja, roaming around. Weapon mastery for the Beatrix, though. Seems like they don't feel like they can snowball reliably enough, or they're going to rely on the Ling to snowball and let the Beatrix handle that late-game damage. But, oh,
Natko dashed earlier, and now it's going to be caught by the taunt as well. Natko might be forced to flicker out, so Tsujin is waiting there. No fracture!
Oh.
Almost predicting the flicker. But Natko will be forced to recall.
But he gets out, right? He used the flicker at the right time, was able to get out. By the way, in terms of emblems, Clockun, Paramis, Lethal Ignition.
Lethal Ignition to just get extra bit of damage in the midst of a quick trade, you know? And by all means, the Ghost Bursters. If you actually use it in a crowd of human beings...
Natko, no! He survives with the PLC! Oh no, the lethal ignition's right there! Annabelle coming in, Dreams as well, walking up, they're vitalized. Not enough to keep him alive. Skylar able to flicker out at the top of the blades. Annabelle picking up all the blades, but the flowing blood gets Skylar out, 1 for 1.
That's the nerf onto the cooldown of that dash, man. You see Sosajin try to get out of there, but he has to be a bit more careful with how he wants to dash out. He can't just spam it out the same way. And again, with Clockun having a bit more burst of the lethal ignition, RRQ now, they gotta be a bit more careful here, because level 4 is up for a lot of the members of Evos.
Meanwhile, You can see both of these mid laners trading it out. Technically, right now, we do see that Rrq is able to clear a lot quicker. And speaking of clearing, man, that damage already early game from the Aurora onto Dreams is going to be a problem. Dreams is already half health. And this is before they go for the setup for the turtle.
Even though there was a level 4 advantage for Evos, they were unable to use it. Despite having a Kaja, you would think that they would be dictating the pace, just forcing to try and get something, anyone from the side of Rrq, but maybe they're not confident about the first damage. But look at the moves coming in from Rins. No flicker on the Kaja. Oh, Dyron!
Oh, Final Flash cancelled down, now Divine Judgment as well, but the Avatar, the Guardian connects on the back, the freeze with the Frigid Glacier! Even with the Netherrealm, it does not matter! Psychots with Earth Shatter only onto Rins, getting passive down, but now with the Fractured Psychot should be taken down! That's a double for Sutsujin. Annabelle forced back.
That was such good cover from Rrq.
1 for 2 though. Dyron trying to hunt for the stragglers, but with the fact that the Aurora has the passive, right? It just allows Rrq to get so much more value. Evos were forced to wait around, and this was the power of the Katakacha we're talking about there, stopping the Divine Judgment from being that deadly of a tool. But look at this, Sutsujin walking into Dreams. Not caught just yet though, no Divine Judgment.
Shadow's gonna be careful. No flicker, he will be taken out. Natko gets a kill.
Wow, the burst damage coming in from Evos certainly still available. And look at that, Natko landing a lot of these skill shots, still doing pretty well. At Rrq, I think they're gonna be forced to play a bit slow right here. They're seeing Evos have the burst potential. With Annabelle already picking up 2 kills, they want to be a bit more careful. They know Annabelle is a very adept jungler in his own right. So now we're gonna see a bit of a break in the action.
Hey.
Right on time for Kent.
Is he there? Does he notice yet?
Not
oh,
yet,
he doesn't
not
know
yet.
yet. I wonder what he's talking about. 3, 2,
What's his nickname? The General?
1.
Yeah, his name is the General.
The General of
Oh, he
Rrq.
doesn't know.
Still
He
waiting.
hasn't noticed yet.
He's desperately just waiting. And then, there.
There you go.
Oh, he has something to show. What is this?
What is that?
What is this?
wait.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Sweater?
I have a bad... Oh, no, just...
Oh, it's cold.
Oh!
He's cold.
He's cold up there. Number 1 Rrq.
It's cold on top. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We are
Oh!
going to
Kent! Oh, hang on a minute, Dyron.
That's the General right there for you, boys. Dyron surviving in the bottom lane.
Wait, moment there from the General. And you can already almost hear his voice. He has a very, characteristic voice there, Kent. Very motivational. All right, with 14 seconds to go, 10 seconds to go for the Turtle. You can see both teams definitely trying to set up properly here.
Oh man, they see Dreams. If we're talking about setup, Dreams, he has a lot of pressure on his shoulders right now. I mean, technically, Beatrix should be... Oh, wait a second.
Edoc's gonna be the one. Oh, final strike from Dyron. Getting this done now with the Frigid Glacier on another realm. Annabelle winning out the retreat battle. Disaster for Rrq strikes Annabelle. Picking up all the blades on the Skylar, who will be taken out. Just in a snap. Evo's glory. Oh, Dreams canceling the recall. Dyron moving forward, getting the vengeance. Delayed recall. And this is a turret for Evo's glory.
That's a 3-for-0 trade. And, that's what I was curious about, right? Because technically, if you have an Alice in the gold lane, wouldn't you need a little bit more time to get to that power spike as compared to Natko, who now has that BOD?
Oh, close. Almost a steal. But yeah, that's a fair point, Eterna. Usually you would see the team with the Alice take it a bit slow and at least go for fights where the Alice won't be present, won't be required. But Rrq went for it right there. They lost the neutral objective, multiple members, and a turret as well. Definitely a quote-unquote miscalculation. And I think that's Rrq BB on in the arena right there.
It's BB8.
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 Her name's BB-8?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
BB8.
Maybe we'll get a BB-8 skin in game.
Oh.
Well, she's here to show support, but Dreams already with the
Bleeding time.
bleeding time. This means that there's going to be more Divine Judgment attempts at least. Oh, look at that conceal.
Trying to go for Skylar again, trying to shut him down. Stop him from farming. Edoc doing a good job at zoning them away. His Glowing Blood will be used by Skylar, but he won't utilize the second part of it. Just wants to clear out that wave.
So what is the power spike that we're waiting on for RRQ in terms of items, especially for Skylar? Because we saw the Alice gold lane get to that much damage, but it required time in the hands of Aaron, right? But for Skylar now, how many?
I think a good rule of thumb is 3 item power spikes, but you know, me and Mirko, we kind of tried out a bit of the Alice technology just last night.
I got the wrong emblem. But it was still strong with the wrong emblem, so 3 items. Oh. E-Dog, goodbye. Immortality buy, whoa, whoa, whoa! Raising the flicker forward, add the Frigid Glacier onto Dreams! I'm not too sure about that, that's the roamer! RRQ Hoshi losing out on the speed fight again, Skylar running away. Natko gunning them down, the flicker from Natko! Oh, Suzuki gets taken out as well! What happened to Evos? What happened to RRQ?
There's just so much aggression right there, RRQ. Despite the fact that in theory, they want to take it slow, they want to counter-engage. They're the ones chasing. A flicker Frigid Glacier play by Rins. We all know that Rins is an aggressive player that wants to make the plays happen, even when he's on a defensive control mage. But right there, that was just something extra coming out of him. No flicker available, gets chased down. RRQ, they gotta calm down here. It's like the tempo from game number 1 is still in their heads.
They need to before things get completely out of control, right? A 5k gold lead now for Evos at the moment. And a very interesting item build for Natko. So BOD, and then he didn't go for Malefic Roar. He went Sky Piercer?
That's the Sky Piercer abuser coming through. The Dietrich with the Sky Piercer. You have to remember that it does stack up, it does scale, so now RRQ, there's more pressure on them to really not give a lot of these kills to Natko. You're seeing why Natko was willing to flicker forward as well earlier. Those stacks can really be so valuable in the late game. Looking at RRQ, moving around to clear right here. Rins is only on the glowing wand, so by all means, they're pretty far behind. And in the main roles, the jungler, for instance, is 2,000 gold ahead. The RRQ is in a very, very tough spot, especially with that BOD pickup from Annabelle. So much burst damage soon. Even Ida can't really stay in the front line anymore.
So what would Skylar's next item be? So he has 2, and then straight to Holy Crystal, and that's the power spike.
Yeah.
Or does he still need like Divine Glaive?
Now he does, yes. Now, not Divine Glaive, I think Winter Crown.
Maybe. And you have to remember that I believe when Aaron was playing this Alice, I don't remember seeing a Starlium.
But there was a Starlium.
Was it Starlium?
Yeah.
Okay, well, means that there's going to be more emphasis in actually getting some more of those basic attacks to proc the true damage. So as long as there's a healthy amount of magic damage available for this Alice, it's going to be a lot of healing available. And maybe that could be the extra plan later on, right? Make sure that Skylar in the front line can help out with Edok and be an extra front line, technically, all things considered. But for now, with a 6,000 gold deficit, I think it's a great time for RRQ to actually have some moments like this. And they're very careful with the opening of the map here. Rin spamming out those hailstorms, knowing that it's on short cooldown, making sure that Evos has no chance to snowball even further.
Slow build. But Evos want it slow with a goalie like this. Hey!
Oh, there's
hey,
R7.
Oh, it's a legend!
That's an
Mr.
intense,
Chip 7.
An intense expression right there.
Chip 7 in the building. I wonder if he can shortcut to the Mpl arena.
Oh. Be a cool moment.
I want to see the moment he realizes.
And we're waiting.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, the timing's all. Sorry, R7. Dream just got taken. Oh, okay, maybe with him, RRQ's got a big avatar. R7 shows up and suddenly RRQ want to go for the fight. Annabelle, no time to blaze. Edot with Revitalize, unable to survive. Rins with the flicker forward. Now it's Psychons punishing Sutsujin. Skylar getting some HP back, flickering out to safety. Tyrant able to escape.
Natko actually burns Flicker as well to get that final kill onto Skylar, but Skylar was still able to get out of that. But that's a 1-for-2 trade, again in favor of the White Tigers. Arashi, this should be a better setup for the White Tigers to get this Lord.
Absolutely. At this point, I'm not sure if it's even possible for RRQ to try and go in like this. Psychot is out-tanking and out-damaging the members of RRQ. The gold deficit has increased now to 8,000. RRQ on the back foot, now attempting to kind of defend. In theory, with the Aurora, AoE, and control and zoning, and with the final slash threat looming around the corner, RRQ can kind of play this out, play it kind of safe. Because even if Evos want to try and get a play, the best they can do is go for a pick-off attempt with the Kaja, Because if they go in and dive with the Netherrealm, as a lot of teams do with that Pharaohs, they're liable to just getting completely bursted down with the AoE. Now taking a look at some more of the items, Endless Battle completed for Annabelle. So more burst damage, and with the Thunderbolt, Radiant Armor, and a Dreadnought for Psychots, he can just stay in the front, no problem at all. But with that Sea Halberd available for Sutsujin, maybe that tankiness can be mitigated quite a bit.
Is Natko on the way to Haas Claws, by the way?
I think he is.
Vampire Mallet?
Or a Wind of Nature, but that would not make that much sense against this magic comp. Yeah. I think it might be just the Haas Claws.
Uh-oh.
Could be used against Sutsujin, technically. But
What?
Okay. Heptases and then Rose Gold then, maybe.
he wants that extra burst damage, definitely. Look at that snipe coming through. The Sniper Elite. It doesn't land, though. RRQ has defended from the waves, but this is just the beginning of their problems. 8,000 gold behind. Wishing Lantern on the Paramis. That's a new one. I haven't seen that one in a while.
Yeah, me neither.
There
It's a 9,000
were
gold lead, though.
changes to the Wishing Lantern, though, right?
Yep. It doesn't give you as much mana any longer, but it still does a ton of damage. Max HP damage, 10% if I'm not mistaken, when you apply about 800 damage. So for Evos, especially in this position, with Clocken having the liberty, the time and space to just stay in the back and just spam the Ghost Bursters, it's going to be a nice addition to the damage output overall from the team.
By the way, Mirko, you mentioned about Skylar and Alice.
Yeah, Season 7 he was hated because he couldn't play the Alice that well.
So, if they lose this,
Maybe don't play Alice. It's a tough one to pull off. I think RRQ made a lot of mistakes in the early game here. And Skylar, mainly, I think, was way too aggressive on the Alice early on.
I think so too. And the team overall were also very aggressive in roping Skylar into those fights. Sutsujin now is level 15 by all means, but everyone else is just really, really far behind. So with a 9,000 gold lead, 14 minutes, now there's a bit of a weird shift because Evos at this point, especially the leading carries, they're going to be running out their builds to get a full inventory slot. And once it happens, now they have the urgency to try and end the game, even though technically with the item swaps, that could still be a massive resource that Evos could use.
Or Sharon the Flicker. Oh my goodness, Tyrant just got eliminated. Now in the mid lane, it's Sutsujin versus Annabelle. And yes, Sutsujin just disappeared too. Two members of RRQ gone, just like that.
this is a disaster for RRQ. If they were hoping to go for a clean sweep against the White Tigers. And like you mentioned, Arashi, before, an animal that is wounded is a dangerous beast. And this is exactly what we're seeing from Evos. They pick up the Lord, they pick up the 2 kills, and that inhibitor turret falls in the top side without anything.
Without any intervention from the side of Evos. A 12,000 gold lead. Evos, the team in last place, is actually putting on the pressure against RRQ. Job's not done though. A while back, RRQ were known as the Comeback Kings. And me personally, I never felt like that nickname has really left. You know, you always have that belief that something can happen. But now, especially when they're in first place, it's more real than ever. Quick item check right here while we do have the time. Holy Crystal completed for Skylar, but he's gonna need a lot more than just that to really be able to match. And I don't think Evos are willing to give him that time as the Lord comes into their base.
Let's say Natko already sieging in the bottom lane. Won't be able to get the turret though, I think. The minute was cleared out. RRQ actually doing a good job at clearing up these waves. But there is going to be another wave coming down. RRQ Hoshi dealing with the Lord already with Skylar on the Alice. He got some really good clear on the Alice as long as he is able to get in range of the minions. Brings the flicker forward and Rins getting his passive broken. Flickering out to safety. Annabelle with a jump over to Rins, but no! With the top of the blade, should be able to find a kill. Gets in, gets out. Another round coming down as Edo is able to jump into the back. Annabelle again showing his prowess on this lane as Natko gets the unstoppable. Dynamo with the Vengeance now caught by the Primal Wrath and brought back by the Stampede. But somehow RRQ are still able to defend. 13,000 gold lead though. There's still a mini wave in the mid lane. That is all 3 base turrets taken down. Psychots with a Flicker, Earthshatter, and an onward out the Sutsujin and the Divine Judgment. Evo's Glory should maybe go for the end. Now it's Skylar against the world. Everybody against them. Still able to sustain. Skylar with it going forward and the winner crowd. but it's all too late. Evos Rrq can just go straight for the base.
The White Tigers strike back, ladies and gentlemen, forcing a game at number 3. Their backs were against a corner, but their tails were not tucked between their legs. Their fangs show up here, and RRQ have to fight another day.
The early game aggression, the way they're able to beat RRQ. We thought it was a done deal after the first game, after such a dominant result.
But you make it chaotic. You stagger the formation.
Your team is
The
banned.
Kaja, that's why it was banned out by RRQ in the second phase, if you guys remember, game 1.
That's why the classical Chaos Derby.
It's a new version
The new
right
version.
here. But now the Fanny, the Yves, banned once more. Going with that solution they found in game number 2. Coach Age trying to replicate the same kind of success, but for RRQ, immediately the Ling.
Always on the way.
Now,
Your
are they gonna
team
let go
is
of the... Oh, hang on a minute. With Evos banning with the Mathilda as well. So what is taking precedent in first phase? In the first pick for Evos, with the Mathilda that was so hotly contested, it was even banned by RRQ in game 2. It's banned by them.
Exactly, that's why this third drafting phase is a lot more interesting than before. Presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy A55, A35 5G. It turns out their choice is Foveus. So Evos with the Ling being banned out, do they go for the Edith that they found success on earlier on? Good flex, they still stick with that. But RQ now, do they still want to go for the Arlett and Nolan?
Huh. Arl and Nolan. Now with the Ling in the picture, in theory, it's alright. But, yeah, the Fanny is also banned as well. All of these pesky, long-range mobility heroes like the Ling and the Fanny, it's not in the picture any longer. So maybe the Nolan is that important, but they snatch away the Faramis, and that's the signature Ruby, the flex potential as well.
But this is a Valentina pick for sure for Evo's Glory. Then they could go for... Yeah, Valentina for sure. The other pick probably... I think picking up a pick for Annabelle would be safe too here early on. Maybe a Nolan for them.
Huh. Right, the Nolan picked up by Annabelle might work here, but is this RRQ hinting at going for something like the Roger that has been so successful in the hands of Sutsujin? Now with the Luo Yi that was banned in the second phase by Evos themselves. Back in the mix. Now it's getting a bit interesting. Evos won't be able to match the Nether Realm, but they're gonna have that macro advantage. But look at the Joy! Wait, what is going on right here?
Joy? Jungle?
Yeah, it should
Most
be
likely.
jungle. No way goes gold lane, right?
Joy EXP, the throwback?
Oh, the throwback to M4.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I think it should just be the Joy in the jungle here with the Nolan the matchup, yeah.
Agreed. I mean, we have to go really far back if you're really trying to theorize, you know, where these heroes are gonna go. We haven't seen the Joy and the Luo Yi alone for quite a while at this point.
So with that being said, does the Joy still have that same pressure that it used to have? I mean, with all the changes and all the nerfs to the Joy.
So now you're not immune to shot control, but you are immune to slows technically. On the side of Evos here, there are 2 solid cut control tools, but we've seen that with the right mindset, I guess, with the right backup, Fabian, I think, pulled up his Joy once.
Yeah.
I do not remember against which team though.
Yeah, but he did play the Joy once this season. Arki Hoshi, I think this time it's good to get rid of the Kaja. Because the Kaja Luo Yi would be even scarier than what we saw previously in game 2. The Kaja in itself was already super scary. Kaja Luo Yi, I think this was brought up by TLID actually last season when they were still called Aura. It was Yaoi and in the mid lane, Yezkiel. Yeah, the Luo Yi combo with the Kaja, Luo Yi with Tigreal. Let's see. Oh, it's actually going to be the Minotaur ban. So they'll leave the Kaja open, I'm guessing, because they already have a Ruby. So trying to deal with the Kaja through the Ruby pick. But still, I'd say with the Luo Yi, this is a dangerous pick to be left open like this.
Yeah, it's definitely good synergy. And you have to remember that back when it was initially shown in MPLID, Luo Yi Kaja was a thing that Rebellion was very fond of bringing out, was using with ODCS's great pickup style. Now with the Claude banned away though, seems like Evos are certain that they want something good, something AoE based for Skylar right here. But the Claude though, band away, Mirko. Is it that important?
I think it's because they have a low Yi. They want to be very fast with it, and Clock is very, very safe when it comes to escaping, right? That battle mirror image gets you out real quick, quicker than even a Moskov. So in this particular situation, I'd say that's a pretty good ban.
Well, okay. Let's wait and see here. The first pick in the second phase for Rrq. I think card control in theory should be what they're looking for. Bit of survivability as well. So now there's still flex potential here between the Gato Kacha and the Ruby. But for Evos, they're going to be forced to expose the whole hand right here, right now. It's a very mid-game, mid-range, close-range oriented team fight. I feel like more damage would really serve them well. But like you mentioned, Mirko, the pickup potential is what they're able to use to really pressure Rrq, even though in theory, Rrq could have really matched it as well.
So what's the choice here for Dreams? Assuming that Edith is going to the hands of Psychots. You mentioned the Kaja.
Yep.
There's a Franco. Oh, there it is. Harith. Okay, Harith in the gold lane. And then the Akai.
Wow. Whoa. Interesting. The heavy spin for the neutral objective play, the ability to scatter everyone and push them away perhaps from the Netherrealm. You can see the idea, but low Yi Akai?
Yeah.
What's the idea there? You teleport and pin 4 members with a hurricane, with the heavy spin? That feels so idealistic.
There's
Yes.
a lot of room for error for sure. If that's the combination that they're thinking. And Rrq close things off with a Moskov.
We did see the Akai last time actually picked by Evos Glory as well. It was up against a Jawhead. That one makes sense, right? You want to try to disengage from that Jawhead initiation for the Jawhead pickoffs as well, but the Akai here, I understand against the Faramis and the Lo Yi. I guess we'll just have to see how it plays. It gets played here by Evos Glory. Dreams, very good on the Akai. Mr. Kaon, still full smiles.
That's good. That's a good sign.
Well,
right?
It is.
Right, guys?
The lineup rating, though, hey, it still favors Evos. I think all 3 games it has favored the side of Evos, but we've seen already from game number 1 that it's not a thing. It's not a surefire deal. EXP Gatot, though. Wow. Let's go. That's the dangerous, high damage survivability style that Tyrant just loves.
One hand on a cliff,
5 seconds
and the other
till enemy
already
reaches
in
the
mid-air.
battlefield.
The
Smash
final
them.
breath for Evos. If they still want to make their playoff run, their playoff dream live.
Welcome
Here we are,
to
ladies and
Mobile
gentlemen, for the
Legends.
final game in the classical derby between Evos Glory and Rrq Kaon.
Let's see it here, folks. Will Evos Glory still be able to keep that dream, though it's far from reach, alive? Or will Rrq take it away from them, snatching it away from their corpse as they take them down this game? 1-1, best of 1. It comes down to this game.
Looking at the respect right here, Nadco and Skylar both running to Purify, but so does Rins being on that Faramis. That's gonna be a fully set together actually for Dreams on the Akai. Weapon mastery for Harith, so they do expect that this game might go a bit later into the late game.
Sutsujin?
Yes?
The emblem?
Oh, Sutsujin with the temporal rain there. Getting more cooldown reduction when you use your ultimate. In theory, it works well for the Joy, right? You pop the electrifying beats and you get more mobility tools. Just jump in there, do some damage. But look at this.
Sutsujin actually missing out there because Dreams flickered out, so he's unable to get the reset to go for the rhythm. But for the electrifying beats, it's also, an abysmal stat for Annabelle. 0-5 on the Nolong.
Wow. I mean, I think last season we were just talking about how good Annabelle is on this Nolan, but I guess it's a different time and it hasn't really been generous on him either. For both teams, it's still the waiting game, but you can see Edoc on the Ruby. 6 wins, 2 losses. A lot more aggressive here. This pick was available in the previous game, by the way, but Rrq opted for that Gatot Kacha. Now, look at this.
Annabelle starting to turtle up already. Dreams, not level 4 just yet. Edoc, not level 4 either. Sutsujin spotted out Psychots. Able to find him, good headbutt away. Sutsujin with the electrifying beats already and the temporal rain as Avatar comes in. Psychots or Shadow Flicker, Retribution. Annabelle wins it again. Sutsujin unable to get the Retribution down. Dyran force back. Rin's gonna be knocked up. Now it's Dreams. Looks for a pick. No Purify on Rins. Early win for the Tigers.
To begin with, RRQ didn't have the best of starts either, even if they wanted to go for that contest. Sutsujin was a level below at level 4 as compared to Annabelle, who was at level 5 at the time, and the setup really wasn't there. RRQ still went in for the commit for the contest, and now they're the ones falling behind.
They're also forced to show Sutsujin very, very early on. Oh, look at that. I think Sutsujin still get that one? That camp? I believe he did. Not quite so sure. But again, he showed himself so early on right there, and you would usually expect Dyren or Adok to make the first move early on, but look at this.
Heavy spin, pinning him down as well. Psychops rotating over the Earth Shatter.
Oh!
And wow, well played by Dreams, using the flicker to get to Rins so that the Netherrealm doesn't get in range of Edok.
Creative use of that heavy spin. Now, RRQ on the back foot, already feeling the pressure, most definitely. 1k gold lead, and unlike game number 1, RRQ have not been able to really farm up with the same efficiency, especially because Annabelle is clearing so much faster here, level 7, but look at this.
The taunt down as well. Annabelle. Can he escape from this? Sutsujin reading it out. Unfortunately, unable to get through the wall, gets the electrifying beats down. Edok missing the I'm offended. Uncharacteristic mistakes from RRQ as Evos take control of the game.
Uh-oh, this isn't a great start for RRQ. It looks like Dreams will be pulled back just a little bit. There's no follow-up whatsoever. As we take a look at the audience prediction, 84% for RRQ. Talking about RRQ, Dyren in a 2v1.
As revitalize and gets back to technically just full HP there.
A good move for Dyren to just pull away the attention. And right now, I think the eyes are still on the jungle. Annabelle farming so fast, and he's leaving Sutsujin behind. Only ahead by 1 level at this point, but look at the setup for RRQ. They're trying to look for something, but it seems like Evos feel like they can actually match this fighting potential.
Again, still, Sutsujin is a level below of Annabelle. Let's see the setup for RRQ.
Psychots, Earth Shatter Flicker. Did not connect onto anyone. Dyren says Ini Bencana with the emote.
A disaster. For those of you who don't understand the translation, we haven't seen a diversion play. Evos can try and go for something like that, but Edok, ooh.
Part 2, Dreams walking up with the headbutts of Force already onto Edok now with the Earth Shatter. Connecting earlier with the armor. Primal Wrath coming down as the taunt is able to stop him now with I'm offended as well, but now it's a heavy spin to bring them all the way back. Edok taking down Dyren with the Avatar gets out, but it is a win for Evos Glory. Turtle number 2, as it is going to be traded by a turret in the bottom lane.
Let's see, Skylar is looking for a little bit of a trade in the bottom lane. Still able to get it, so it is a small win for the Kings. But unfortunately for them, Evos gonna be able to strike back with that tier 3 turret in the top side.
I mean, it's a nice move and all, but all things considered, I think Skylar is still behind by about 200 to 300 gold, even after taking down that turret. I have a small, brief recess here with the MPID Streamer program, looking at Evos' Alyssa.
She doesn't know yet.
No. Always takes a bit of a, you know,
There's a delay, you know,
couple of moments.
from live. Let's see what. I mean, Evos are winning, so she still looks kind of concerned in a way, you know?
She's using,
As everyone would be.
Oh, let's see. Reaction.
Hi!
when are we going to see Eterna?
She looks nervous. Eterna?
Yeah, are we not going to see Eterna with the MPID Streamer program?
I don't restream a lot. To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair, but let's go back into the game. Skylar already dealing some damage into the turret there from Evos. And he should be able to get it. So another trade back from RRQ.
Bit of a trade back, and there's no way for Evos to kind of match it on the other side now. So all things considered, Evos has the gold advantage, and yet still it's going to be even trades. But look at this diversion.
Oh my god, wait.
Tycut's
got on the wrong side of the wall. Oh, they're all seen. Earth Shatter connecting on towards him. Edok getting offended onto 4 with a heavy spin. Disengages them. Edok inside of the Netherrealm, gets caught, and then Atco will be able to pick up the kill, and Zaman Force already plays out as well. Sutsujin walking up, trying to go for it. Natco brought back by the Stampede. Now the electrifying beats onto Psychots. Dyron picking up the kill, and just like that, the Kingdom have arrived. Annabelle, Fracture almost getting Skylar and Rins together. The buy one, get one combo, but Dyron is right there to zone him away.
1-for-2 trade, and the Kingdom in the Mpl arena, they go wild. It looks like Drees will be spotted out here, and he's on a sliver of health, but so is Rins and Dyron.
Good headbutt away. Dyron's gonna be taken out by the Fracture. Sutsujin very low, already using the electrifying beats. Evos Glory have recovered their position around the turtle. This should be a complete 3 perfect turtle for Annabelle. Wow.
No answer from RRQ whatsoever in terms of these neutral objectives. And it looks like when it comes down to the trades as well, there's not much that RRQ have found in return.
That's a crazy development there. The fact that Evos went for the diversion play and it resulted in a massive swing and a momentum to RRQ. And then RRQ greedily going for the neutral objective when they're just so low on HP that they're just in so much danger, particularly Dyron. Now it's back to the waiting game, but Evos definitely have had benefits from this aggressive style that RRQ are displaying. If you take a look at the items, it's only a Blood Wings and the Genius Wand for Sutsujin, so he can do a lot of damage over time though. Skylar, as we mentioned earlier, was behind in gold, but he has caught up actually gaining the advantage right there as we speak, farming in the jungle, but also taking away some of that gold away from Sutsujin though. You have to keep in mind there's limited resources. Diversion though.
Okay. Oh my god, Sutsujin! Dreams of a quicker forward. Good move by Sutsujin. Getting out. That's a whole lot of resources burnt out. Edo missing out the I'm offended. Getting caught by the Yang reaction now. Avatar the Guardian to the back line, but Rin's gonna be caught somehow. How? How did Rin disappear? Dyron isolated all alone, now taken out by Natco and Kwakun. Oriki Hoshi in shambles. Dream spotting out Sutsujin. This is a 2,700 gold lead for Evos Glory.
What happened?
It was Annabelle. He came in from the sides, caught Rins lacking immediately. Look at Sutsujin go.
Again, Kwakun force a flick around. Sutsujin coming in. The damage not enough. Kwakun getting the shielding. Kwakun surviving. And Annabelle getting the lethal ignition as Natco gets dealt with by Rins, who's walking up. Dreams goes in with the headbutt. And now we have some downtime again. But wow.
Arashi, please walk us through what happened in the past minute.
The fact that Rins has to purify, you can't purify the damage coming in from Annabelle on that Nolan. And that's the buff we're talking about, but look at his avatar from Dyron. Interesting use of the avatar, won't be available. As the Lord is up, the wave on the top side, technically RRQ can go for the cross-map play, but the wave on the top side isn't pushed up. Skylar is grouping together with the team, and now they gotta play it really, really careful here. That Nolan is an absolute menace. With the slow on the Fracture, it's a lot more difficult for some of these heroes to get away from it. And look at this, immediately Evos, as they arrive, take away all that control.
RQ don't have the resources just yet, right? Dyron and Idok both don't have the ultimates up. RQ, they need to buy a little bit more time before they go in for the commitment. But look at Sutsujin and the way that he's pathing right now. Is it possibly? Oh, wait a second.
Annabelle brought back by the Stampede, but they get a turret off of it. Annabelle can just dash out to safety. Evos are getting these small dubs that are building up.
You're doing a great job just pressuring RRQ again and again to stick around. They're the ones dictating the pace, Evos. RRQ, they're playing a lot more reactive right here, and this is not what you normally expect. The reason why RRQ are on the top of the standings is because they've been able to actually play so well when they're ahead, when they're able to find the right kind of game plans that they're looking for from all the way from the drafting phase. Now it's looking different. It's looking like they're not quite sure how to play this. Even when you look at the combo between Dyron and Edok, you don't really know who exactly at this point in time is in charge of opening the map or going for the engage. Both Dyron and Edok have been kind of trading that role back and forth, and that inconsistency can lead to a lot of openings for Evos to take advantage of.
Now it comes down to Evos Glory really playing with their mid-game power spike. They should be around that mid-game power spike already. And for RRQ, they're still going to have to wait for Skylar to scale up to become a monster. This is looking scary. Evos' window is about to open up.
Oh?
It's a rotational diversion to go straight to the Lord.
Conceal.
Oof.
Dyron able to escape. Edok revealing some of the members here. Evos Glory taking control. Annabelle with a BOD already. The onward coming down onto Edok. No full initiation just yet. Psychops knows better than to go in. Annabelle actually already losing half his HP. Dyron with the Avatar. Nako with the Holy Crystal already with Zaman Force placed in. Annabelle winning on the retreat battle as he was zoned away. Psychops getting rid of the Netherrealm, and Evos Glory pulled back. Well played. Clean MLBB from Evos Glory.
Where has this Evos been the entire playoffs? What was that from Annabelle as well? That shouldn't have been possible. That's a 2-for-0 trade in favor of the White
Skylar.
Tigers, and they're not done.
He has the Purifies him on force over. Skylar gonna be taken out by Natko from the Harith.
It's way too much damage. The Purify can't save you from that. The Lord comes in through for the side of Evos. That tower on the bottom side is looking kind of low though. It won't fall, unfortunately, for RRQ as Evos begin their counterattack. Now RRQ with no high ground, without any advantages to take advantage of. They're just waiting around to see if they can make an outplay happen, if they can get a catch onto Annabelle, or maybe to Clocken. But in the pure front to back at this point in time, there's just way too much damage, way too much burst damage from the side of Evos for RRQ to even do anything.
Sutsujin, Holy Crystal, will that make a difference?
Diversion again up top this time. These are some very ambitious diversions from Evos Glory. Some have actually been very sketchy, but overall, I think we go back to the keys of victory. Chaos over Keskute. RRQ Hoshi, they are struggling to go up against a very chaotic composition like this.
Yeah, nothing is really moving in a textbook fashion. Now you can see RRQ trying to find some information. Usually Rince would be in charge here to spam out some spells to try and get that vision. But now it's Edok going in vanilla, but look at this.
Good Earth Shatter to cancel that. That is a tier 2 up top taken down. Evos Glory with the First Lord have taken 3 turrets, tier 2s. The window still open for Evos. This is still within the realm of their power spike.
What about RRQ's power spike? When will that hit? Skylar's already at 3 items, right?
He actually is already on 4 items, even with a Rose Gold, just in case Clocken and Natko get their hands on him. But if that earlier pickup on the bottom lane is indication of anything, Skylar isn't safe at all. At 14 minutes here, you can see that at least Skylar and Syzygen are level 15. And in fact, from the side of Evos, only Annabelle is level 15. So there are moments available, but look at this.
Dreams all alone. He does have the pin down. Psychops with the onward. Now Dyron to be pinned down and bursted out. Good Netherrealm to save him. Sutsujin in the midst of it all, jumping in with Avatar Clockhood. Trying to survive. Sutsujin gained the elimination as Natko jumps in back and forth with the Zaman Force. Now it's Sutsujin knocked up, and Annabelle with the assassination. Natko picks up a double. Evos Glory get the winning fight. It's 2-for-1 in favor of Evos.
Oh no. 2-for-1 trade. RRQ still going to be able to clear out that top lane. But in the grand scheme of things, Evos will be able to set up for this next Lord first. They will be able to get to the neutral objective first. And if we take a look at the fun fact from Gopay earlier on, EXP Gatot Kacha, 4th time it's been used throughout the MPL regions. Still sitting at a 0% win rate, by the way. So the odds are against RRQ, even here.
This isn't working the same way that RRQ would like to have it. Now it's back to that survival mindset. And earlier, I believe Rince got taken out as well.
Yeah.
Might have came back with the passive, so it's actually a 3-for-1 for the side of Evos. The fact that Syzygen is left so far alone, in theory there are combos here. The ammo branded into the electrifying beats from Syzygen can do a lot of damage, but so far, Evos just has not been allowing it. That heavy spin actually is just doing so much work here to just throw the formation of RRQ into chaos.
Remember, ladies and gentlemen, this is a do-or-die game. Evos, the White Tigers, the last breath, but look at Dreams!
Dreams, that might have been a mistake, brother. Avatar cancelled by the heavy spin, but Dreams will lose his immortality. Natko with his Zaman Force now, jumping back and forth with the Chrono Dash and the Synchro Vision, but now, even with the Purify, gets a lot of shielding. Natko versus a World Edok will be taken very low as Pure Destruction, as Syzygen gets rid of Annabelle, but Skylar is not able to survive. The Lord gets a swing at him. Clockhood taking the base turret in the mid lane down. Syzygen still surviving. The Kings are holding on to their castle to their safe haven. 2 base turrets.
And luckily for them, luckily for RRQ, these are the base turrets that are on the... Oh wait, no, it's luckily for Evos. It's on the opposite side. Can RRQ still survive?
I'm offended coming down. Natco, that is a mistake, but Natco goes in and out with the outplay! Natco on the Harith is an absolute beast of a monster!
The base!
Goes in, that's another kill over to Sutsujin, who buys the winner crown, but Evos glory! They keep their playoff dreams alive! They shatter the win streak! They beat the Kings!
This was a battle between heaven and earth. Everything was on the line for the White Tigers. And they have done it. They reverse swept the Kings of Kings, #1 on the standings as #9. RRQ thought that today was the day that they tame the beast once again. But this time around, Evos show otherwise.
Who would have expected this outcome? Papulong